You would always want to be on the side of having good credit.
Do you think it pays to have good credit? Speaking of taking a leap of faith, I want to swap back over to the credit repair industry real quick. Especially lately, I want to say maybe over the last 1 or 2 years, this has been a very important topic with some of the crazy laws that, monitor us, I guess. I want to go over the Credit Repair Organizations Act as well as the Telemarketing Sales Rule. Some people are like, this is just crazy. This is too extreme. There's other people like me, which I do think is extreme, but at the same time, I'm not going to let that affect my business. And I'm just going to work around that and just, I'm strong. I'm going to keep pushing. But for those who are probably not in the credit repair industry or maybe new into it, there's two things that are scaring a lot of people out there, and there are a lot of misleading information on these topics here, but mainly the Credit Repair Organizations Act, which is the main thing that credit repair organizations at least need to follow, is mainly things that prevent scams, right? I'm all for that. There's a lot of scams that's out there on the internet. There's people robbing every grandma out there on the internet these days. So I'm all for things like that. But at the end of the day, when I guess the government or someone's trying to tell me what I need to do or how I need to do things, then my opinions start changing on a few things. I'm all about punishing the bad people who get in trouble and maybe they have done something bad. And if they want to get back into this industry, these are the laws they must follow. But to punish everyone for no reason on, some of these crazy rules, I think is a bit extreme. So the main thing in the CROA, which is Credit Repair Organizations Act, is no upfront fees. So for people that's out there saying, pay me $1,200 to enroll in my service, and before I even look at your credit report or before I even know if I can help you or not, pay me hundreds or $1,000 upfront just to sign up on my website. So that's one of the things that CROA has in their act there. No advance fees, no gimmicks or fake promises, and people saying they can fix your credit in 24 hours and 10 days and all that crap. Look, those are things that I agree with. I get it. I can understand why those items are in place. I don't really think CROA goes too extreme, in my opinion. I feel like I can bear with that. The advance payment thing, me personally, Sturgis Credit Repair has been offering a first month free trial, from day one. So I don't think that's, a big deal for me. However, someone starting new in the credit repair industry and may not have the clientele or the sales and business flowing in, they're probably going to question it like, what? I can't charge what I want to charge just for a consultation fee or something like that. So some things can be a little strange, but the main thing that I disagree with is the TSR, the telemarketing sales rule thing. And that's mainly the hottest topic in today's world, or at least today's credit repair world, because some of the big companies have gotten sued for that. Lexington Law Firm, the software with Credit Repair Cloud, they just had a lawsuit because some of the users were so-called violating the TSR, whatever the case is. So for those who are listening and watching again, TSR, telemarketing sales rule, pretty much prevents credit repair organizations from cold calling or receiving calls in hopes to land a sale. So their whole thing is you can't have a phone call just to sell someone credit repair over the phone, take their money, and whatever the case is. So if you do make sales over the phone, their law is you must wait 6 months to be paid. If you take any monthly fees before that 6 month period, if you sold them and had them sign up, on the phone and things like that, then that could potentially, whatever, be a violation. So, of course, you're always going to have people like us. Of course, we're just little ants in the credit repair industry. Now you have some of your bigger companies with millions and millions and millions of clients like Lexington and creditrepair.com. Now, I'm pretty sure those companies are being watched very closely, but for people that have, 200 clients, 500 clients, maybe 1,000 clients, you're still just a small little ant in the credit repair space. So, how do you feel about some of those laws, James? Do you think the TSR is just absolutely crazy? Because wouldn't that lead to more online scams if their thing is you're not allowed to sell your services over the phone? You know, what financial lead or financial prospect who's seeking for financial help with their credit, who is going to feel comfortable hearing, oh, well, I can't talk to you about credit repair or sell you credit repair because it is a violation? Doesn't that sound like a scam? I mean, what is your opinion on all of this?
Yeah, no, it does sound a little unusual.
Yeah.
My thought is obviously the powers that be, the folks that create these laws, it's clear they don't want to make it easy for credit repair
Oh, for sure.
organizations to exist. Obviously, creditors and banks and credit bureaus and I'm sure somewhere along the lines, our government, they're all kind of in the same, they all kind of have the same interests, if you will.
Yep.
So the TSR in particular, I think is definitely a very obvious example of, they don't want to make it easy for credit repair organizations to exist. As far as the CROA laws, I do think the CROA laws have the consumer's best interests
Hmm.
as kind of the main object of the laws. I mean, one of the other things is you got to have a written cancellation policy. And you have to have a
Yep.
written outline as to what exactly you're going to
Agreed.
provide as a service provider. I think
Right.
those are fantastic things. I mean,
Absolutely.
anybody that puts their name on signs a piece of paper and maybe pays a company, I
Yeah.
think it's completely reasonable. What
Yeah.
am
I'm
I
for it.
getting?
Yeah.
How does this work? Can I cancel? So I think that's great. But yeah, as far as the TSR goes, I do think, and unfortunately, I see companies even in my local area violate that regularly, and I see advertisements on social media.
All day long.
Worldwide social media, but in my local area. And I was like, man, I drive by that place every day. And this guy's
Yeah.
call us and the phone number's all over the website.
Yep.
I think unfortunately, when you're dealing with money, there's going to be some companies that are just they don't care. They'll take their
Hmm.
chances. If it's only a fine, if it's only a penalty of some kind. I mean, they're
Yeah.
not going to haul them off and take them to jail. So some of these
Exactly.
companies, they have enough money. What's the big deal? But I'm all for following the laws. I'm all for doing things the right way. An approach that I take with my clients, I tell them every single thing that I can up front.
Hmm.
I don't shy away from any of that stuff. And if they still want to do business, fantastic. If they don't, it's okay. I mean,
Right.
really, that is my exact approach. But yeah, I think it's no coincidence that the TSR is there, and it's obvious that they
Yeah. Their
want to make it,
purposes.
yeah, they don't want to make it easy for credit repair companies to exist. So.
Yep, yep. Yeah, speaking of some of the companies that just saying screw it, they're just going to do what they're going to do. And at the end of the day, man, people are people, right? We're all human, regardless, people are going to do what they want to do regardless, right? There's no stopping that.
Stirgus Credit Repair. Stirgus Credit Repair. If you want a new house, call us.